we're back. We're
Hey,
back.
folks, we're back. We're back. We're back. We want to do we're gonna do a little Friday night special, man, because of this news thing we found was told to us by my buddy Ken about this California model. So if y'all like the truth, being told about their inside shit and what goes on inside these walls, the conditions of confinement, hit that like button and share it, man, and subscribe, pass it along, man. Share it so the folks can know.
So folks can
know. Right, baby girl?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. We don't want anything but to get heard.
That's it. We just want to get heard. We're seeking to expose the truth to the truth seekers of you out there. You guys are the truth seekers, as I say, man. So this morning, I went to a little x-ray. I had a surgery done, and so they wanted to do an x-ray on it. And a couple months ago, I had it done, and they want to make sure everything was cool. So this morning, I went to an x-ray, and on the way there, a couple of these old school cops, old school COs, man, they were talking about this California model, right? And they got one right here in New Folsom on A facility, the snitch yard, the PC yard, SNY, PC, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But and they were talking about it, that it's growing week by week. They're getting more inmates in this program over here, in this fucking California model program. And that they're fucking they're tripping on it because these cops don't understand how playing goldfish with an inmate for an hour or playing a game of dominoes with an inmate for an hour is going to rehabilitate him and get him prepared for the streets. And now here's the kicker, folks, is where they have this unit, this California model unit, the building, it's a PSU housing unit. PSU housing is the most severe of mentally ill that CDC has, other than a mental hospital, right? And on top of that, what these cops told me today about it, and I don't know if they're watching my videos, but hey, man, if they are, smash the like button, folks. But they said that a couple of the inmates went back to their house after playing the hours, worth of games with the CO in the office, went back to...
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And gassed the next officer that will open their tray slot with poop and piss. 2 of them did. This is what they told me. This is what they're talking about. These are the people that they got in that damn program. So, and this come from their own staff, right? And there's basically 2 guards. You got the old guards that don't want us to have nothing. They're like, slam them fuckers down. That's a wrap. Punish them. And you got the new guard that kind of want us to have something and rehabilitate us a little bit because they do believe we're going out to the streets sooner or later. And so amongst them, they're having this battle. Amongst us, they're having the battle. And then it's like, the guys, all they're doing is playing a card game with these dudes. Or some type of Monopoly game or Sorry or whatever the hell game they're playing, board games.
They ain't playing chess.
Right. Yeah. That's funny. So what me and my baby girl's going to do, we found this news piece that was talked about the other day by my buddy Ken. Told us about it. And we actually listened to it. And we're going to break this down for you guys, and I'm going to give you the real fucking deal. No jive talk. And you guys are going to get the straight up thing right here, man. I couldn't hold back. I had to. I told my baby girl, man, we got to do this for these people. we gotta put the truth out there because this news piece, even though it's a mainstream news piece and it's got a bunch of high-powered reporters talking about it or whoever it is, I just got to break it down, and we're going to go segment by segment. We'll stop and go, and I'll give you the narration of it. So, baby girl, whenever you want to go ahead and start that,
Okay.
Let's roll.
Looking at California's prison initiative, a new one that prioritizes rehabilitation over punishment. Yesterday, if you recall, we got an inside look at the last days of death row at San Quentin, all part of a larger effort to reshape the state's prison system overall. And today, in part 2 of our series, we take a deeper look at what people are calling the California model, an effort to rehabilitate general population prisoners. The initiative offers inmates who demonstrate good behavior.
Okay. So, the guy just told you, the public, he told you taxpayers that they're going to rehabilitate general population prisoners. He said it, general population prisoners. He said it right there. That is a complete lie, people. They are only doing this for X and Y inmates. That is it. This doesn't have nothing to do with general population prisoners, GP. Nothing. So, okay, that's lie number 1. Nothing. It has nothing to do with us, GP. Okay, go ahead, baby.
Its prison system overall. And today, in part 2 of our series, we take a deeper look at what people are calling the California model, an effort to rehabilitate general population prisoners. The initiative offers inmates who demonstrate good behavior programs from therapy to sign language.
Let's talk about what good behavior is, huh?
Yeah. Okay. So the good behavior that they're telling him about, and what it is they're using that term, good behavior, is debriefing, snitching. This is their description of it. This is how they define it. Fucking going along with their fucking agenda, conforming to their agenda, propagating their agenda, disseminating their agenda, rumors, gossip, help them push their agenda. That's the good, that's what they're talking about. Good time credits and shit like that.
And denying yourself personal integrity. They don't want you to hold integrity for yourself at all. They want you to do it for them, which is not integrity at all. Right. That's exactly what they're talking about right there, folks. I mean, a second ago, he just said general population. That is a complete lie. Complete lie. Okay, go ahead.
Classes to coding. Joining us now is contributor Gianna Taboni. Gianna, we liked yesterday's report. We're looking forward to this one. Good morning.
Good morning, Tony. I've been working on a book about the death penalty in America titled The Volunteer, and at a recent family event, I introduced myself to Governor Gavin Newsom. We have a family connection. He agreed to an interview, and back in April, we visited 2 state prisons to witness how he is implementing California's new approach to incarceration.
When I first came to prison, I couldn't be honest with myself about what I had done. I have caused the end of someone's life, murdered someone.
These incarcerated women are trying to get to the root of why they committed crimes to avoid reoffending in the future. Therapy groups like this one are part of the California model, a taxpayer-funded initiative being rolled out across 8 prisons statewide, prioritizing rehabilitation and education. California's Governor Gavin Newsom says his goal is to prevent people from coming back into the system.
There are people
Okay, stop.
Absolutely.
Stop. Okay, so the governor's saying, she's saying the governor's goal is to stop reoffenders, right? Okay, well, the people that they're putting in this program are those that are in those units, PSU units and these PC units. They're weedy whackers. They're J-cats. They kick their door. They throw poop. You know, they eat poop. They smear themselves with poop. They, you know, they're jacking off the female staff. You know, they're showing their bald-headed chicken to female staff. Now, how is that, people, my true seekers? How is that going to parlay into society? You know, how is that rehabilitative? You know, yet they're solely focused on one group of people. Their general population is not even a part of this discussion. They're lying. And, you know, the people that's reoffending are the weenie whackers, the rapos, the chomos, because it's a sickness, man. And they know it. They know it. They know that the recidivism rate for a man like myself that has 20 years plus is like 2%, maybe 1.5%. You know, because we know what time it is. We know what it's like not to go home for years and years. And we don't want to ever come back. Once we're outside that gate, we're not coming back. And they know it. But that goes against their prison machine. You know, so Gavin Newsom doing this behind Norway, and it's a whole different ball game in Norway. You know, it's a whole different ball game. It's not California at all.
I think they have less than 4,000 prisoners in the entire country.
Right. And I mean, they're not hardened convicts. You know, they're not like us over here. There's nothing like a California convict, man. There's nothing like that in the world.
Or like what that one person said in the comments in this little article is, you know, how many race gangs are there in Norway?
One. One. Just that. Okay, so go ahead. Let's hear it.
His goal is to prevent
Let's
people
play.
from coming back into the system.
There are people that absolutely never should be released. Absolutely. I believe that in my core.
Stop. Okay, Gavin Newsom just said to this person,
You have 60 seconds remaining.
there are people that absolutely should not be released. Okay, let me call back.
Yeah. Let's look at the chat. Hey, Outlaw. Thank you. Yeah. Right on. Appreciate that. Globaline is always interrupting us. Sometimes she can really blow your cover. All right, here we go.
Okay. So let me get. He just said that Gavin Newsom just said, right, that there's people that should not be released. Absolutely, should not ever be released, and he believes it to his core, right? He just said that to the public. Mm-hmm. Who are those type of people, folks? The rapos, the chomos, the sexual predators, right? Mm-hmm. That's the ones that should not be released.
Well, those who get a thrill out of committing their crime, those are the sickos.
Right. Those are real sickos. A man that preys on a woman
or
in
child,
any capacity,
or kills for the fun of it,
worse, or elderly or innocent, is the ones that are not. You know, they shouldn't, and they should never get out. But they're letting them out. They're targeting them people with this California model, you know? And I'm not saying that, you know, all of them are rapos or chomo, But birds of a feather flock together, and that's a fact, Jack. So in that unit, in that PSU unit, and the SOY yards, them yards is full of chomos and rapos and people that hurt women. Elderly. So that's the people that should never get out of prison. But yet, this guy just sold the public a lie right now that he's not saying though. He's not going to tell you that the California model is designed specifically and intended for SOY, PC inmates only. Because it's not on no GP yard. Okay, go ahead.
Are people that absolutely should be released, but are not prepared yet to be released because they're not fully rehabilitated.
Now, I want some clarity on what he means by fully rehabilitated. Does he even know what fully rehabilitated is? And what do they consider that? I mean, sell your soul or actually just do better? Because actually doing better doesn't seem to be what they're seeking when you go to parole, and they want you to sell them your soul.
Right. I remember what we were talking about a while back. There's a girl in one of the videos where they told me at my parole hearing, if you don't debrief, you are not rehabilitated,
right,
and you will never parole if you don't debrief. So that's the type of shit he's talking about right there. They're just not saying the details.
Mm-hmm.
They're painting a picture with a big brush, but they're not giving you the details because that's where the devil lives. In the details. The details.
Initiative, which offers everything from job training to dog handling, is based on a model from Norway. Leading the charge is Newsom's prisons chief, Jeff McCumber, who started his career as a guard.
Back when you were an officer, would you have been on board with something like this?
No. I didn't have the vision back then that I do now. And, a lot of people say, why are you doing this? Why shouldn't you spend money for incarceration?
Stop. Okay. Jeff McCumber just told you guys he didn't have the vision back when he was a guard as he does now. You know why? Because back when he was just a prison guard, he didn't see inmates as a dollar sign. But now he does. He sees us as a dollar sign. That's the only difference with this guy right here, man.
Didn't we hear somewhere that once they reach a certain rank, they become indoctrinated in a dehumanizing the prisoner program?
Yep. They go to so after they pass lieutenant and they get to a captain. Once they become a captain, they have to take a class for like 90 days, or course, or go get dehumanized or some shit. Now they view everything as a business, as money. That's it. They don't see the human involved. They don't see the person involved. It's all about a bed and money. And I know it's after lieutenant all the way up. So it goes sergeant. It goes cop, sergeant, lieutenant, captain.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Captain, associate warden, chief deputy warden, and then the warden. So from captain on up, they go take this management course or program, and next thing you know, they're just like, you don't matter. No, you never mattered anyways, but now you really don't matter because you're just a dollar sign to us. So that's what McCumber's difference is right there. Okay, go ahead.
And go to college. And I say, well, it's costing you a lot more to keep people in prison and people coming back, and I don't want to create more crime victims out there.
He thinks the approach will also keep prison guards safer, a group with a suicide rate 39% higher than other professions.
If I could reduce violent behavior by the incarcerated.
Okay, so they're talking about reduction of prison guard suicide, right? Now, let me tell you guys, a lot of these dudes, a lot of these guards, the ones that do commit suicide are either morally, they're having moral battles because of the corruption that's going on in the prison, like Kevin Steele and Rodriguez, the guy Rodriguez that killed himself here.
Valentino.
Valentino Rodriguez. I don't think his name was Valentino. Yeah, it was Valentino. Well, so if you look at both of those situations right there was behind corruption. They wanted Rodriguez to falsify some documents and cover some shit up or something. He didn't want to. They wanted Steele to do some corrupt shit. He didn't want to, and they ended up dying. Now, and it's because of the people like McCumber and the upper management in the prisons that are corrupt, and they're putting pressure on these lower ranking officers to cover their tracks better, cover each other's tracks. Hide the corrupt tracks, shit like that. So a lot of them can't handle it. It's a lot of pressure, because it goes against their, their morals. It goes against someone's moral compass, and that's just what it is, man. So that's why most of them are killing themselves. Or they're having some wife swap, and they caught their wife in bed with their homeboy, or caught their wife in bed with a parolee. Who knows? I don't know, but it's a lot of pressure on them to be corrupt. That's a fact. Okay, go ahead.
Staff assault rate goes down, injuries go down. When Norway started their change, it took them 10 to 20 years. So it's going to take time, but we're going to get there.
10 to 20 years for a very small prison population nationwide. And, they could afford a bigger, better staffing and, therapy and social work and all kinds of stuff. Actual
real shit.
Actual apprenticeship programs, not some real limited stuff. They will never. They also claim that they do this for their higher level offenders, and that's just not happening here.
That's not happening here. No fucking way, man. Here's the thing. They said that he was saying something about right now. Wait, matter of fact, back it up about 30 seconds or a second if you can, so I can hear something real quick and comment.
And a lot of people say, "Why are you doing this? Why shouldn't you spend money for incarcerated to go to college?" And I say, well, it's costing you a lot more to keep people in prison and people coming back, and I don't want to create more crime victims out there.
Question: do you have the opportunity for them to pay for you to get any schooling at this juncture?
No. Nope, that's a lie.
He thinks the approach will also keep prison guards safer, a group with a suicide rate 39% higher than other professions.
If I could reduce violent behavior by the incarcerated, staff assault rate goes down, injuries go down. When Norway started their change.
Okay, now let me go ahead and tell y'all. He said staff assault goes down. Let me tell you what's going on with these trumped up charges of staff assault. Again, they have an inmate in cuffs.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
An inmate shoulder might bump one of them, or his elbow might bump the elbow of an officer, or he kicks the officer's boot. Boot touches boot, or some weak ass gassing, or a chest bump to chest bump. Some petty ass assault, alleged assault on staff, right? What this does is it pumps up the numbers of staff assaults. And then they start playing on this. Like, oh my God, we got 3,000 staff assaults in the state of California right now by prisoners on staff. But they're not telling you what actually happened. because the devil's in the details, folks. How is it one guy's one inmate's shoe, like he might have like kicked the officer's boot, or he might have bumped the officer with his shoulder or his elbow while he's cuffed up, or threw piss on him, right? Okay, so they're classifying all this as staff assaults, you know, and they're not having like degrees. What's that?
So everything from an actual assault to accidental, like, you know, not enough space to walk 4 people down the row in one time because there's 3 on 1. It's like in escorting or whatever, right? Mm-hmm.
So, and what they do when they escort us, let me give you another example, is they grab your elbow, right? Say I'm cuffed up and they escort me. They grab my arm with their hand. Now, if a guy jerks away from them, they're calling that a staff assault now. Okay? That's what they're calling a staff assault now. And so what this is doing is inflating the numbers of staff assault to make the prisons look more violent than what they actually are against staff. And 90% of it's coming from these very people that they're targeting in the California model, the SNYPCs. That's a fact. It doesn't really happen on GPRs. You know, if it is, it's a minor issue like I just explained. It's nothing where a cop needs to go get facial reconstructive surgery where he got his shit smashed out of him. Somebody haymakered his eye and crushed his fucking eye socket, or ran, you know, or did some fucking hardcore shit to him. It's petty shit. Petty.
Right. We're not saying that it doesn't occasionally actually happen either, but
no, it does. It does, but very, very, very occasionally, where they actually need to go get outside medical help in a serious violent assault. It's very rare, but they're using all these minor things to inflate the numbers, folks. And that, so they can tell you right here, oh, we got 3,000 staff assaults this year. Well, why don't you break them all down? Everyone, break them all down. But they don't want to do that because the devil's in the details. Okay, go ahead. Let's hear some more.
It took them 10 to 20 years.
You have
so it's
60
take
seconds
time,
remaining.
We're going to get there.
all right.
Let me call back. Okay.
Okay. Baxter, are you being naughty? My doggy's being naughty. He's a good boy, though. He does his job. He keeps away the kids and the squirrels. Oh, my goodness. There you go.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Go ahead and play it. Let's hear.
Behavior by the incarcerated, staff assault rate goes down, injuries go down. When Norway started their change, it took them 10 to 20 years. So it's going to take time, but we're going to get there.
But getting there is not only going to take time, but buy-in from correctional staff.
Many of these correctional officers have also been assaulted by inmates. Is everybody on board?
Not everybody. I mean, no one's naive, but this couldn't be done without them. We said you're going to be around that table making decisions with us.
We wanted to know what the guards think about the California model. We sat down with a few of them and their boss.
When I first heard about it, like a lot of us, it was met with skepticism.
I thought it was a great opportunity to just treat people like people, treat them like humans. What happens if we give them that respect? Do they give it back?
Probably 95% of our population is going to get out, and I feel like our job as peace officers is what are we providing?
Oh my
Stop
god.
it. Okay, it's all good.
Not when
Okay,
this
so
is blinking off.
did you hear the lady? Huh?
Go on. Just talk and I'll figure this
Okay,
out.
did you hear the lady? Okay.
Okay.
Did you guys hear the lady say if you treat them with respect, you treat them like humans, they'll probably treat you with respect? Ain't that how it's supposed to be going? I mean, why shouldn't you treat people with respect in the first place for 20 years now? Right? But yet, to stop dehumanizing us and but I mean, wait a minute, how is that such a big change? I thought CDCR was supposed to be about respectful treatment and even though they say it is, it's not.
Like when you drive into CSP SAC, there's all those little signs of affirmations as you're driving down the driveway about being courteous and respecting each other and blah blah blah. Like, do they even believe it?
Yeah, that's for them. Yeah, that's for them. Respect each other. That's not for them to a prisoner. No way. That's not for them to a prisoner. See, they want to treat people like animals, worse than animals, especially if you're a GP. Yeah, but then they say, man, we like you guys GP because you do your time better and you don't come after us. You don't gas us, you program, you do this, that, the other. But you still dog us out. You still shit on us. You still feed us like shit. Obviously, you ain't been treating us with respect because the woman just said it. And it's definitely it's a fucking hypocrisy, man. They're full of shit.
Mm-hmm. That they are.
Okay, go ahead. That they are.
Our population's going to get out, and I feel like our job as peace officers is what are we providing to that person to not create more victims.
Here's a picture of Kyle and I playing up in the snow. This is before I married his mom. And here we are, the three of us, Kyle and his mom and myself. Those were definitely good times.
John Sperry's stepson, Kyle Myrick, was beaten to death by a coworker when he was just 28 years old. His killer is now serving 15 years to life.
There are a lot of people who have been convicted of murder in this state who are now gaining access to rehabilitative programs. What are your thoughts on that?
I do feel like the California model is chipping away at the justice that we're supposed to receive. And perpetrators, they serve some time, and now their time in prison is going to be even easier. So how is that justice?
Okay, stop.
Do you feel that people who are convicted of murder...
Okay, so this is a dad that lost his son to a beatdown, a death, right?
Mm-hmm.
And look, man, you can't help but feel bad for the dude, right? Because he's a father, man. I mean, come on now, folks. I mean, I'm not a father, but I could definitely sympathize with him, man. But here's the thing. Not everybody's in prison for murder that have life, okay? And then not every one of us have that type of situation where with this guy, where we kill an innocent person or whatever. And what I'm asking y'all to realize is, when I said that statement before, we become a product of our environment, was I didn't come to prison on a murder. I came to prison on an attempted murder. ×3 with no...
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
When nobody got hurt.
That were trumped up charges at that.
Right. That were trumped up charges. Now, here's the thing. The guy that killed his son got 15 to life. So that's a murder 2 in the second degree. Okay. And he said it was a beatdown. Okay. So it was with fist or something, right? Now, I would probably have to research the case or whatever. But if the guy that beat his son down shows remorse, apologizes, and does a bunch of cleaning time, and fucking, you know, is reformed and rehabilitated and so on, and he does 20, 25 years, whatever. You know, why shouldn't that guy have a shot to get out if they're actually going to do this California model for everybody, not just the SOI? Now, when you have a system that is not, they said at the beginning of this interview, 95% of getting back out to the streets, right? This is what they said. 95% are getting back out to the streets, so let's rehabilitate them. I mean, that's not true. That's not true. There's a lot more lifers than that.
Yep.
You know, there's a lot more lifers than what they're saying. And you know, again, I sympathize with the dude. You know, it's his child that he lost, but we are being punished. Every day I spend away from my family, my wife, eating good, petting my dog, I'm being punished. I'm in a fucking box, within a box. And nobody died in my case, so why should I be treated worse, you know, than the people that actually are hurting innocent people, women and children?
Yep.
Because I don't snitch, I don't fold over. That's why they're doing that.
Yep.
You know, they want to break everybody's spirit, man. That's all they want, is to break a person's spirit. You know,
not everybody needs that to be quote unquote rehabilitated.
Right. Okay, go ahead. Let's hear some more.
And perpetrators, they serve some time, and now their time in prison is going to be even easier. So how is that justice?
Do you feel that people who are convicted of murder, do they deserve?
Did you want me to stop?
Yeah. He said the time in prison is going to be easier. Wrong. Time in prison is fucked up as it is, period. It's not going to be easier. It's only going to be easier for the S&Y inmates, not GPs,
or the level,
not everybody.
Level 1, level 2 that are doing programs and putting in their little chores and responsibilities. And, yeah.
Right. And I guarantee you this guy got 15 to life. More likely he's a high level 3, low level 4, and he ain't the guy that killed his son, and he ain't going to be doing no easy time.
No.
And I guarantee you that.
Right.
You know, and I want to take it back to when McCover was saying, or somebody was saying about letting people out of prison. This guy said lifers are going to get out of prison now. Well, hey man, they're the ones that just let that guy out, the highway shooter, who had 90-something years after he did 12 years. They let him go. Why? Because he's SOI.
Well,
the home invasion killed dude. The guy that got the home invasion with a murder, 10 years. They let him go. You know? They let him go. But they're picking and choosing who they're giving action to. And they're giving action to the people that are going to reoffend. That's who they're giving action to.
So they have an alibi to bring them back in. So they got
an alibi to bring them back. Get on, baby girl. Because it keeps that revolving door going.
Yeah.
Keeps the machine moving forward.
Yeah.
It's called job security.
Oh, and then they can say, see,
it really
we told you so. These being nice programs don't work. Let's go back to our draconian torture. But there can just be time without torture. They don't have to make it ugly and still make it uncomfortable and unhappy. You just don't have to.
Right.
You know, food punishment is about the most disgusting thing.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
You hear all the time about these people starving their kids and shit. Well, you know, they're doing that to warrant. He did nothing to warrant this kind of punishment. I just don't get it.
Right. Exactly, baby. Exactly. Okay, go ahead. Let's hear some more. Folks.
I don't think they're going to be fixed by any amount of dog training or horse petting or any other therapies that they offer. I think they're probably just beyond that.
What is the experience of having to mourn a child?
It's absolutely horrific. Even before I knew for sure that Kyle was dead, and we were searching for him, it was so painful just to be alone with my thoughts, and it hurts everyone that he knew. It's really just brutal.
Does the pain ever go away?
No.
There are family members
Okay,
who have lost
stop.
loved ones who say the
Okay, again, people, you can only sympathize with the guy, right? I mean, come on, man. He's a parent, man. He's a parent, lost his kid to a fight or whatever it was. But what he don't understand is what it's actually like in a box for decade after decade, being tortured, right? And according to this guy, he only sees it one way because he's on the opposite side of the spectrum. Now, if his son was the guy that actually killed the other guy, if it was vice versa, he would be on here like you wouldn't believe, wanting some type of help for his kid navigating himself through the court system.
Right.
So, and I'm telling you guys, this is just cold truth, man. If it was the other way around, where this guy's son was the guy that beat the other guy to death, vice versa, he'd be wanting some type of guidance and help, through this fucked up sham court system and the prison system. I guarantee it. Okay, go ahead.
people should exist in punitive environments, right? They shouldn't get these privileges. And what do you say to them?
Look, no one's arguing that folks should be released that have committed heinous and horrible crimes that have been sentenced or condemned. In that context, I'm deeply empathetic to the victims. And look, not all the victims are on board, but many are.
The state argues the California model is about public safety. Washington and Oregon are adopting similar initiatives, and Jeff McCumber believes other states will follow.
Do you think this will drive national policy?
Yes. Yes, I do. And I think this is where we're headed.
What do you say to folks who are maybe in other parts of the country who are looking at this and saying, what are these California liberals doing? This must be a political strategy.
We're doing this because we think it works. 90% of the folks that are incarcerated here and throughout California are going to go back out and be on the streets. Do you want those folks to have a job, maybe get treated for mental illness while they're here, maybe get the education, then have the opportunity for that? If we know those individuals have a 20, 25, 30% lesser chance of coming to the prison, why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I try that?
Okay, stop. Okay, so again, he said 90%, but earlier it was 95 or something, but getting back out to the streets.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Okay, let me call back.
You know, I should probably wait for Brant to come back and mention this, but there are so many different classifications of the type of people who get locked up. From oops, I fucked up to fuck you, I'm gonna take you out to I'm crazy and I don't give a fuck, or there are all those and they try to treat them pretty much all the same, and that's why it's not working. Some people need a second chance, some people need deep therapy, some people need to be taken out of society because they're just too dangerous, like the people who hurt innocent children, sickos, but there's too much of this treating people who are convicted young as a product of their society, and instead of trying to fix them, they're trying to further their incarceration by making them out to be incorrigible when they're really not. They're just becoming political tools, and it's sad. It's sad, and it happens on every level in there. And not only are they political tools, like how they're doing Brant, but they'll also, like he was saying before, releasing these people who are a danger. And don't think that's not a political tool, because it is.
Absolutely. Baby girl, and folks, look, man. Why not target why not help some people that are less likely to reoffend for reals, right? Most lifers on level 4 yards that's got 20 years or more in the system would probably get out of the prison and never, ever fucking come back. I promise you.
Right.
I know it. And,
well, you can only speak for yourself, really, in that regard, and that's the damn truth.
But that said, yeah, you're right. But that said, I know a lot of guys in prison
who feel the same way.
That been down quite a bit, that know how to think and use their heads, but there's still a lot of knuckleheads. I get it, but here's the thing, man. You got to look at the recidivism rate after you got 20 years in, right? It's like 2%. It's like 1.5. It's really, really low. It's really low, man. And so, why not try those guys keeping looking at the recidivism rate for a guy that has 20 plus in the system, and then 30 plus, 40 plus, and it's a very, very low percent that they come back. So why not rehabilitate them, send them to the streets? Now you cut probably 10,000 inmates, or maybe not 10, but maybe 5 to 7,000.
And a lot of them do, and a lot of them do find a way to help others to prevent going in, or yes, I mean, be it legal or advocacy, or yes.
Right. We get out there and help kids. We get out there and advocate, and we do the right thing. And it's a known fact that the recidivism rate is very, very low to a man that has 20 plus years on a life term in prison, because he knows what it's like for those 20 years living without hope, or some to no hope, right? And most of the times they don't come back. But they're not. They're targeting these weenie whack willies, these fucking ball-headed chicken whackers, and they're trying to play fucking Uno or fucking goldfish with these dudes and then murph the public. They're trying to fool the public into thinking that they're actually doing something.
That's the That's the real problem right there. Is the dog and pony show.
Yep. Okay, go ahead. Let's hear the rest of it.
When I was with Secretary McCumber there at the prison, he told me about when he was a warden at a high incident facility, so a place where there's a lot of violence, and he noticed that the folks who were in the classroom were not the ones causing trouble. And then when he got the top post, the data reflected his personal experience, which I thought was very interesting. Nate?
Gianna, thank you. Wow, that is eye-opening. It is
the ones that are in class, the ones that are doing stuff, are the ones who are already in a situation that allows them to be in the class. They're not allowing a lot of people to go to class. But just by
they are
yard assignment.
Go ahead.
Just by yard assignment.
Yep. So, like on a main line, level 1, 2, 3, and 4, you got education, GED, education class. You got, on some level 4s, you got a higher degree of learning than GED. So now, and that's up and running when they're off lockdown or whatever. But on the lower levels, you get more opportunities, right? And
vocational opportunities.
Yeah, you get vocations. You get all types of shit on lower levels, man. Not on a higher level. And it's usually S&Ys that get all the vocations and the main jobs now. You know, and so what McCumber's saying is, when he was a warden here at New Folsom, he was the one.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
This is the guy that let Yogi Pinnell go to the main line, and this is the guy that was probably under investigation for third-party culpability. So, you know, this is the same guy that's sitting here selling this program to you guys with straight lies involved in his press release right here. Okay, go ahead. Let's hear the rest.
Opening, and then you can't help but think what that father was saying.
Yeah, the families of the victims.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get the idea of rehabilitation, preventing future victims.
Yes.
It does save money. You don't warehouse people. It respects human dignity. But man, when you sit in that father's chair, you feel differently.
Yeah, but I am conflicted.
Yeah,
because if 95% of prisoners are going to be released,
yes,
then what are we doing to rehabilitate?
Yeah, I've often heard they go into prison. Sometimes they come out worse than when they went in. It only makes you a better criminal. So,
bingo.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the end of it.
That's the end
so,
of it.
So, folks, that was the end of it, man. And let me comment on this, man. You know, they said that they're conflicted because of the father's emotions. But again, flip that situation, put his son as the guy that did it to the other guy. That dad is going to fight for his son's life going through the criminal trial, pre-trial, you know, all that. You know, and I guarantee you he's going to see how fucking corrupt the justice system is, and all the way up to the correction system. And, you know, it's just a fact, man. You can't get around it, folks. You just can't get around it. You're not going to make everybody happy, no matter what they do. But why not try to rehabilitate for real and help those where the recidivism rate is already low to start with, right? It's already low.
Mm-hmm.
And when you break it down, you'll see it, you know. And but they're not. They're targeting the whack-a-willies and the weirdos first, you know. And some of them might be successful. Some of them, like in San Quentin, they might have a few dudes that they're going to use as their model inmate to push this thing through. Like, hey, look at this guy. Remember I was telling you a while back, baby girl, what the same officers told me about the photo op that they had over here the other day, a couple months ago? The photo op for this program where they took the dude down there, took some pictures, put him on a video, and they took him back to his cell.
Oh, yeah.
Gave him a couple lunches, and that was that. And then they gassed him.
Yeah.
So this is the dog and pony show, man. That's the smoke and mirrors I'm talking about right there. You know, that's the smoke and mirrors. And it's coming out of taxpayer dollars. Like, there's another video right here where they're talking about San Quentin getting $240 million to renovate their prison. What? There's no way that they've done anything with that $240 million but put it in their pockets and use inmate daily labor.
Well, like I said, when they shut down the road, they probably budgeted their shipping them out from some of that money.
Yep, exactly. So, hey, folks, you guys got any questions? Shoot, hit the comments. Maybe we see anything on there. Who we got going?
Right on. You know, Outlaw checked in. He said this channel has the best prison content available on YouTube. No prison boogeyman fairy tale glorification, just the hard truth. Yeah, well, that's why we're
right,
here.
my boy.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And he also said your channel's visuals remind me of a PBS art show, relaxing and sets the mood for listening and learning from Brant. Right on. Thank you. You know, I'll tell you, I got my inspiration from makeup horror stories. There are women who will sit and tell a story or some gossip for hours on end while they're putting on their makeup. And I just think that's the craziest thing I ever thought. So why don't I just sit here and do my little drawing or my painting and I've been coming up with some really weird stuff since I've been sitting here and kind of forcing myself to get creative, and it's been very inspiring. So, whatever energy you guys are throwing my way, thank you. It's making me weird and I like it.
Thanks, folks. Thanks, man. Outlaw News, I send my best to you, homeboy, man. We're gonna keep fighting. We're gonna keep the truth real. Let the truth seekers hear the truth, man. Because goddamn, man, it's y'all's money. It's the tax dollars. My wife, my mom, yours, your family's money that they're taking, man.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking. And it's just fucking wrong. It's wrong to take y'all's money and put it in their pocket and make you think that this is what they're actually doing and it's going to work. Because it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
It's
what
not
you
working
do.
at all.
So check, like these, just not all of them, but some of them will sit there and masturbate to a female cop, a female nurse, or even a dude nurse. Who knows? They're fucking weird like that, right? But these are the guys that they're putting in the California model. I mean, fuck, man, are you serious?
Well, them and the real low level offenders, level 1 and 2, who are getting out anyways and are gonna have an easy time.
Right.
Maybe doing a year for
level 2.
DUI or some little petty thing, and it's like, okay, they know they fucked up and they know they're going home. They know.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's different for a lifer who, like we were talking about before. There was a time when lifers never believed they were ever going home, and they were made to believe that, and so it led to a different kind of mentality that is being reevaluated every day to further some type of more positive outcome. But they've already been set up for failure, by the parole board expectations. And as a family member, it's really hard to stand by and watch them deny the personal progress your loved one may be going through, even though it's not their way. It's still a way.
Right. And I want to add to that, man. The thing is this. Back in the day, when I came in the system, folks, you didn't have no hope. If you had life top, you're never going home. Never. Under Pistol Pete Wilson, we call him Pistol Pete Wilson for a reason. He was taking all our programs, man. We couldn't even get a fucking GED class. You couldn't even get a vocation. You couldn't get nothing if you had a life sentence. Back in 95, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up.
Which says they had no intention of putting you back in society, for sure.
They had no...
You have 60 seconds remaining.
The parole release rate was like 2 out of 1,000 or 5,000 on the... And 2 guys might parole from an SNY yard that had life. Let me call back.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We get that little bit of hope, and then they go and do stupid stuff to sabotage you. More will be revealed, but there just seems to be a real desire to undermine these guys who are trying the best they can. Meanwhile, they let out repeat offenders who do 6 months, a year, 2, 4, 5 years, whatever, and they just go out and reoffend because, they told them what they want to hear, which makes no sense to me at all. Well, I guess those short bidders, they don't have to do parole hearings, so this has been a very interesting ride for me too. I feel like I have been asked by God to get on board with the exposing the darkness, bringing it to light. Hey Tim, you're late. You're gonna have to do a rewind. Okay.
Tablet starting, it was acting weird.
Oh, that's okay. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Okay. Well, like I was giving you guys a little back circle around on the last one of the last video I done. Back then we lived like we were never getting out because that was how it was. We were never getting out. And when you have that type of mentality and you got that in your brain, it creates a different animal. It creates a different animal. And I mean, it's something that you can't understand unless you lived it, man. When you're in a situation, you're fighting for your life. I mean, you'll do it. You'll claw, you'll bite, you'll eat somebody's throat out. You're gonna do what you got to do to live through that fight. Whatever fight you're in at that time with 5 or 6 people, you're gonna give it all you got. Now, when you have no hope, and you're fighting like that to survive these shark-infested waters, these level 4 yards that they create a bunch of racial havoc on for 20 years, and the staff creates these detention and staff created fake ass kites and staff created rumors, so we go to war and get off on each other, and then you live like that as a lifer with no hope and the thought that society threw you away and locked you up, threw away the key. That's just how it is.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
That's how it was, folks. And then, like at my parole hearing, they try to tell me 20 years later, they're going to give me a real shot to go home, but they're going to make their decision based on my prison history. It made no sense to me at all, man. That makes no sense at all to me because you guys left me in the system for 20-something years with no hope, man. Now you're going to give me a chance to go home, you say, and base it on the 20 years I just spent without hope. And you're full of shit. And that's what I told them. But, if you really want to rehabilitate people and make some tweaks to the California model and, give it to prisoners who will, have a real chance to staying out there, not these weirdos, these rats, these fucking chomos and rapos, Gavin Newsom just said that, he believes in his wholeheartedly there's some people that should never go home. Yeah, that's them.
Yeah,
that's
but
them.
no, they're the ones getting let out, and people like you who has some ridiculous, crazy charges he thinks is the real threat. When I promise you, you let that man out, I'll make sure that he stays as far off the radar and has no ill dealings whatsoever.
That's right. I'm ready to go. I'm packed up, man. Matter of fact, they can just keep my property. I'm ready to go. I'll walk out of here butt-ass naked, man, with one sock on my junk so it don't get cold. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, we'll go
just
shopping.
Let me go.
We'll go shopping.
But yeah, folks, I just wanted to break that down for you guys and give you some insight to that fucking CBS mainstream media blast that CDCR did. That my buddy Ken put me up on. Thank you, Ken. Good looking out, brother. I hope you're well. We send ours to you, man, and the rest of the fellas, man. Everybody that's worthy, we send it. But they're bamboozling the public, man. And I wanted to break that down piece by piece. The first lie they said was that it's affecting the general population. That's a lie. That's a huge lie. Huge lie. And, it's affecting a couple S and Y inmates and chomos and homos and weirdos. That's it. It ain't affecting no general population, yard.
Hey, Tim just said he'd be happy to be your neighbor. You know what? We're good neighbors. We're quiet. We mind our own. We don't want to bother nothing. We don't want to be bothered. You know?
That's right, Tim. I send my old boy. I send mine all my best, man. And, having a good neighbor is a good thing. Especially if he's quiet, man.
Yeah.
Especially if he's quiet, you can do your time and just get off into your own program and study, read, learn, watch a little TV, work out.
I think he meant your neighbor out here, dear.
Oh, yeah, that's even better. Hell yeah, man. Shit, yeah, man. That's even better, homeboy. Shit, yeah, because then I can eat good. Hell yeah, man. I like to eat, man. Trust me, but I ain't eating no damn fucking soybean shit. No way. I'm good. I will refuse that damn tray every time. Every time. I don't want it. But yeah, man. I was going to tell you guys a little something else about that case I was talking about. Remember, baby girl, the other day, that Karen Reed case, and how
Karen Reed, yep.
They're so. Let me give you a little backstory. The other day, I did a video, and I was watching the court TV with that trial, Karen Reed in Boston, where she's all set up for killing her husband or her boyfriend. They said she ran him over and he hit his head and died in the snow.
Yeah.
Right? There's a bunch of cop corruption going on. Well, so the jury's been out now 21 hours in deliberation, right? Well, at hour number 18, they send a note to the judge. We're deadlocked. We're unable to come up with a unanimous verdict. So at that juncture, the judge said, of course the DA's like, no, let him keep going. Because he don't want no hung jury. That means he's got to retry it or not file free charge. So the judge went ahead and told the jury, nope, go back in there. Go back in there, find a fucking verdict. Go back in there and get a verdict, man. So it's like this fucking judge is forcing a verdict, right? And nobody likes sitting in these rooms, in a jury room, and just sitting in there day after day after day. And of course, the odds are in the prosecution's favor. And now the judge is trying to force a verdict when they said they can't come up with one, that they're unable to reach a unanimous verdict.
So what do you think's happening? What do you think's happening in there?
Right. So she sent them back in there and said, nope, you're going back to work. Instead of honoring what they said and understanding that they just can't do it, there's such odds going on, and calling it a mistrial. After 21 hours now, she's, still letting it go on. You're trying to tire him down and get a guilty verdict, and that's part of the problem.
Well, then there's that coercion. Remember we were talking about earlier how we feel that juries should just vote and not have some kind of convincing party.
Yeah, well, they bully each other, and according to the one of the Supreme Court justices, Sonia Sotomayor,
right.
In an article she wrote. I read an article like 5 years ago, that she wrote saying that juries aren't allowed to bully each other and pressure each other into changing their vote. That's unfair. How is that right?
Terrible.
If you got a jury member, if you've got two old women, okay, look, Alan Dershowitz said in his book, the famous Alan Dershowitz said in his book, he had a guy that was on trial, 2 old ladies held out, not guilty. 10 for guilty. Well, 2 days, 3 days of the deliberation, some people, some guys, some dudes said, you know, we don't want to be here tomorrow. You better come up with something or else, or you'll regret it, or some shit, right? And they pressured these old women into changing their fucking their vote to guilty, their verdict. Well, so they find the guy guilty, right? A year later, Alan Dershowitz does his.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Alan Dershowitz did his appeal and found out that the 2 old ladies were being pressured and bullied, jury bullyism and peer pressure, and fucking got affidavits and declarations from the old women and got the guy out of prison. But this is what goes on inside them jury rooms, and you know, it should not be even tolerated, some type of peer pressure on a jury member. If the jury people hear all the evidence, right? Boom. 12 different opinions.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's obvious and he's guilty or not guilty. File that guilty or not guilty and get the fuck on. Just bounce. You know, they shouldn't be allowed to peer pressure each other.
No, they shouldn't.
You know, they shouldn't be allowed to bully each other.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing on the Karen Reed case right
and
now.
every other case,
It's
pretty
insane.
much.
Right. They're allowed to bully each other. Now again, and that takes me back to the guy that was on this thing here. His son died. If it was his son that did the murder, he would definitely want to hear me right now and take a clue from this shit, because it's not a fair trial, man. Justice is not fair like that. Now, you know, vote guilty or not guilty and go home. You know, They shouldn't be allowed to go in a room, isolated, close the door, all 12 of them, and sit there and bully each other and ostracize and play these games with each other and be mad at each other. And just, you know, they're in there game banging on each other, guilty, not guilty. So game banging on guilty side and not guilty side. And it's like, that shouldn't happen, man, but it does. It does. And that's the part that I'm telling y'all, it's not justice. That's not justice.
Nope.
And that's what's going on in that Karen Reed case. I seen it today when they told the judge, we cannot come up with a fucking unanimous verdict. And she made them go back in there at hour 17 or hour 18, something like that. And then hour 21, she sent them home for the weekend. And it's insane.
That is insane.
They're trying to pressure them for a guilty verdict. Yep. But hey, folks, I just wanted to go ahead and shout out to you guys tonight, man, on a Friday night blast with some truth. And I got to listen to that fucking mainstream media thing. There's another one about San Quentin and letting death row inmates out. But they ain't giving San Quentin prison $240 million for the budget up there in San Quentin to reduce them to a housing unit. I guarantee you, they did not use $240 million to restructure that prison. That prison is so goddamn old, it'd probably take $1 billion. And then at that, they probably use inmate labor, 20 cents an hour, and scam on the fucking supplies and put the rest of the money in their pocket. Like they usually do.
Of course.
Like they usually do, man. You know, but anyway, babe, we got any questions before we close this out for tonight?
I'm not seeing anything. Just a lot of support.
A lot of support. Get on, people, man. You know, we do this. We do this to tell you guys the truth, man. I got nothing to gain. I don't cross no lines. I just want to let y'all know what's going on for reals, you know? And I've been doing this shit for 30 years. Now I have this platform.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
And let me call back.
Oh, I guess this is going to be a long one. Dog's had enough. He says that we're done, but that's okay. We'll probably get our last little bit in here. We really appreciate you guys hanging through and listening to the whole big deal. Well, those lives aren't going nowhere. Baxter's ready to go to bed. And he's funny. The old man. That picture up there, I don't know if you can see it that well. From when he was a puppy.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Okay, you there?
Yep. So,
Okay, everybody here? Okay, so, huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, I don't really have any more topics right now, but I just want to tell y'all one more thing real quick, and it goes to the real rehabilitation. It all starts with a man's family. Again, it all starts with your family, man. And if they were serious about it, they wouldn't even be talking about taking our day of visits, you know?
Yeah.
But they are. And it's done after the 5th. The 30 days, we're only going to get 2 on level 4. So they're not serious. They're not serious, folks. They're really not, man.
They're not.
Because if they were, it'd be targeted to our family, or it'd be family oriented, and it would really involve GPs.
Well,
You know,
you
not
can
just SOY.
You can sit there and argue with what they have in their Title 15 about family support, and they'll agree with it, and then turn around and do whatever the hell they want when it has nothing to do with how it's structured on paper. So
Absolutely.
that's crazy.
You're right, baby girl.
Yeah.
My girl's right, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and close this out, folks, man, and I hope y'all have a good weekend, a safe weekend, and you know, I send my best to all the worthy. You know who you are, man. Till next time, stay up, people, and Outlaw News, all my best to you, Paul, and everybody else, Tim, Ken, everybody, man, all my best to the worthy. You know, all my best to the worthy, man. And educate the next folks. Educate the next people about this shit, man. Share my shit, folks.
Yeah.
Share my shit.
We're not famous because you don't share our shit. Share our shit and we'll get famous.
Share my shit.
All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. What?
Check out Ronnie Yandel's shit. It's coming out soon. It'll be out soon, my bros.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Check his video out pretty soon, man. I just give him a shout out. Check it out, folks. All right, all my best.
Thanks, everybody. You all have a wonderful evening and a great weekend.